Good morning, everybody. It is bright and early right now, 8 o'clock in the morning. I totally forgot to do this yesterday. I didn't realize I was going to do this. So here it goes for social studies today. So I'm doing a slideshow, as you can tell, major battles and events of World War One. Let me get this off here for you so you can see. And then you're going to have to do a Google form just based on the questions from the slideshow. So just letting me know that you guys understand the slideshow. It's kind of like notes today, but you can take notes while you're doing this. That's cool. But here's all the questions here on the battles, and that's it for today for social studies. So I'm going to just go through the slides real quick like I would in class. And then you guys can either watch this, do the slides on your own. It's completely up to you. This is kind of like you guys are learning yourselves right now. So, let me present this. Alright, so major battles and events of World War One. Alright, so the major players, we learned about this already. This was the Central Powers and the Allied Powers. This was on your Newsella article yesterday. So the war started in July 1914 and lasted until November 1918, so 4 years. There were over 100 battles that were fought in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Major battles were fought in Europe on the Western Front. We have our Central Powers. So we have Germany, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. And the Allied ones, these are all their flags. The Allied countries would be Russia, Great Britain, France, and Italy. What just happened? Alright, hold on. We'll get rid of that. I think that was like an extra video or something that the person had on here. Oh, and Japan as well. 1917 joined. Here's all the flags. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so they had two fronts, like I said before. They had the Western Front and they had the Eastern Front. So the Western Front bordered France, Belgium, and Germany. If you remember the map that I had you guys make, we didn't quite finish it before we left school, but it was a map of all of Europe to show the different countries and who was allies with who. So this is actually, if you remember that, you can even look online to look at a map to see where all these countries are. So the Schieffelin Plan, Germany wanted to quickly conquer France before Russia could join the war. Germans were stopped before they could take Paris. Trench warfare began. I did show you a video about trench warfare. Very brutal, very ugly. It was not a good scene. Some of the longest and deadliest World War I battles were fought along the Western Front. And here you can actually see, it's kind of hard to see. Here's Germany here, Belgium here. This is the Western Front, this line here. Then you have the Eastern Front. And again, I don't know why I did that. Sorry. The Eastern Front bordered Germany, Russia, and Austria-Hungary. Too large for trench warfare, so they couldn't do that during the Eastern Front. Russians never broke through the German line, so they couldn't get through them to go further. This is a video. I'm not going to play that right now. That's why it came up before. You guys can always look at the video on your own when you do this on your own. Alright, August. So the Battle of Tannenberg was one of the biggest ones. That was, it lasted for a while. It lasted 7 days. August 23rd to the 30th in 1914. It was near Allenstein. Today it's called Alstein in Poland. So Germany versus Russia. There's the flags and the troop casualties. 166,000 for Germany and 206,000 for Russia, so they clearly had more casualties. And okay, so this is actually troops, this is casualties, sorry, I apologize. And then, here we go, obviously a lot more. Russia should win though, right? Because look at how many troops they had, but look at how many casualties they had. So the clear winner here was Germany. They only lost 12,000 troops out of the 166. So outcomes: Russia's army never entered Germany lands again over the course of the war, so they were never able to enter Germany to try and conquer them. Germans proved that they were a strong army that could defeat larger opponents. And again, here's a video you can watch on your own if you want to. It's only 7 or 8 slides, so this is not a lot. First Battle of Marines. That's another major battle in World War I. September 5th to the 12th in 1914, about 30 miles northeast of Paris. So France and Great Britain versus Germany. So there's our 2 flags. Germany flag. Alright, so troops. They had 1 million troops between both countries. Germany had 1.4 million. Their casualties, they lost 263,000 men on the battlefield. They lost 220,000 in Germany. So the clear winner actually was France and Great Britain. We're going to explain why. Paris was safe from Germany. Germans retreated, meaning they left, and dug trenches. This is the start of trench warfare, which would last for 4 years. Germans would now have to fight the war on both the western and the eastern fronts, because they had coming from both sides of their country. Battle of Somme, July 1st to November 18th. This was a long one. This lasted months. This was near the Somme River in northeast France. It was the bloodiest battle of the entire war. And this was with France and Great Britain together as allies versus Germany again. So troops, they had 1 million again. Germany had 1.4. They lost 623,000. They lost 5. Germany lost 500,000. There was no real winner in this one. Even though it was a major battle, there was no real winner. We're going to explain why. So, some actually consider this a failure. Why? Great Britain bombarded Germany with over 1.6 million shells for 8 straight days. So they literally bombed them for 8 days. But Germany knew of this plan, and they took shelter. So that means that they didn't lose a lot of people because they knew about it. They found out, and they took cover. British soldiers then marched into no man's land. Over 60,000 British soldiers were gunned down. Single worst day in casualties in British military history. And then the outcomes. I'm going to move that. Hold on a sec. Let's see if I can. The Allies gained 7 miles of territory after 2 years of a stalemate, meaning they were just like, who's going to go? Are you going to win? Are you going to win? Who's going to win here? We're just sitting here, like, hanging out. We don't know what's going on. Did relieve pressure on French's troops at Battle of Verdun. So it did relieve some pressure from the troops so they could, like, fight more in the other areas of the war. But really, I mean, only the Allies gained 7 miles of land. They really didn't get that much. So it really wasn't a big outcome for either one of them. And there's a video up here if you want to look at that. The United States ends its neutrality and joins the side of the Allies on April 6th, 1917. And we've talked about this too, so this should not be any surprise. Why did we join World War I? They sunk our ship. So there it is there. It was a British ocean liner, sunk it. 2,000 civilians on board, 159 Americans. It was sank by a German U-boat torpedo on May 7th, 1915. There's what it looks like there in the New York Times. There it is there again. About 1,200 people died, 128 Americans. Germany defended its actions, claiming that the Lithuania was a war zone. So they're claiming that our ship was in a war zone, so they're like, we got to take it out because it's in our territory where we're fighting, so we got to take it out. So they took out our own ship, and we were like, nope, we're not going to deal with that. So that's why we got involved, because they killed our people on our ship. So it was a worldwide support for the Allies grew. Obviously, this is a cartoon. It's not real. And then here's another video as well. So the Zimmerman telegram, this is how we got word of when we were going to start fighting in the war. So on January in 1917, German Foreign Secretary Arthur Zimmerman sent a secret telegram to the German ambassador in Mexico, asked Mexico to be an ally with Germany. Germany would help Mexico recover the territories of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. So Germans like, we're going to get you, U.S. We're going to take away your Texas, your New Mexico, and your Arizona, because we're going to fight with Mexico to try and get that back to them. We're going to be friends with them now and help them out. So we actually intercepted this and decoded by the British. So we were actually able to, with the British, help out and figure out what they were saying, so we knew what was going to happen before it happened. U.S. President Woodrow Wilson, we know about him, we learned about him, asked Congress to declare war on Germany once this happened. And here's another video here. 2 videos. And at that point, we have joined the war. And that is it for today. So you're going to go on to, if you want to take notes, that's fine. But you're going to go on here. We have questions like, what countries were the Central Powers? We listed them in the PowerPoint. Who were the Allied powers? Again, listed. There's 4 answers for this one. 4 answers for this one. What were the 2 fronts called? What was the Battle of Tannenberg located? Who won this battle? What was the first Battle of Marines located? Who won the battle? Why do so many people consider the Battle of the Somme a failure? And what happened to cause the U.S. to join the war? I talked about it. We went over it. This is just a quick little Google form for me to hopefully learn what you guys learned and that you understand what we're doing. So that's it for today, and I will talk to you guys later.